Good morning. Okay, make sure everything's set up. The light looks weird. Light coming in this way, no light coming in. Better. Not much better, is it? Hold on. Okay. We're gonna call it good enough because there's no light coming this way. But I mean, this liquid collagen, which I am trying to make myself take every day. I keep forgetting, so I have to put it in front of me or else I will forget it. If you're watching on the replay, I am here 4 to 5 minutes early, so you can fast forward us.
I am so fucking pissed right now.
What's the matter?
I just got back from a massage and look, I got a verification code from Google Business and there's nowhere to fucking input it. I'm so fucking pissed off.
Oh my God.
I want to take a bat to my computer, but I don't. But I'm going to start blowing up and leaving horrible reviews for Google. And every fucking day, I'm going to have it automatically set till it does it, till they fucking hear me, because fuck you.
Right. No shit. This is the kind of thing that like takes me into crazy town. Like I just
got back from a massage. Fuckers. Motherfuckers.
And there's no fucking instructions on the sheet. There's no like, hey, go to this site.
Go to Google, verify my business, sign into your Google account. I signed into my Google account and it brings up my business dashboard, but there's nowhere to enter the verification code.
What the fuck? I'm going to do a little Googling on your behalf because we got to wait anyway until people get here.
Oh, I need something to drink. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking pissed. And then I did it again for another one because apparently I had 3 or 4 profiles there for verification. And another one was like, we'll go to this phone number, which is the Ring Central phone number I have with ThriveWorks, and no phone call ever came through. And the rest of them want this stupid fucking video. You know what?
Fuck off.
Yeah, I think I'm done with Google.
Yeah.
I really think I'm done with Google. Fuck.
I get it.
Fuck having a business profile. Fuck having a BAA. I will go through Outlook or something else. Go fuck yourself. Sorry.
Do you know this song? So me and my mom I was visiting her the other week and we were talking about like these kind of moments where you just feel like I just want to fucking punch somebody. There's a song. I'm a terrible singer, but it goes something like this.
You piss me off, you fucking jerk. You get on my nerves.
Right. It's like, I don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah, I know,
that song.
I don't know who sings it, but yeah. No, yeah.
Give a fuck. We just died. Died.
And somehow I have Google Ads linked to something. I don't even have a Google point. Like, you're not getting paid. I will make sure of that. I will cancel, and you can say I'm delinquent and go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. And look, like it makes it sound so easy. Go to your business profile. Learn how to find your profile. Oh, that's helpful. And in the code field, enter the 5-digit verification code. Is there any chance you're in a different Google My Business than the code could be sent for? Because I know you've done several.
Well, I've tried 2 different ones that I have. I went through all of them that are there. And I don't even get the option to hit verification code. Like, and then you try to contact them and no. Like, it's the most asinine thing I've had. And like I said, like, we finally got the admin console up, and I had my website designer or whatever, like, go through there with me and do all that other stuff for that, and it still won't verify my domain.
What the fuck?
Nope.
I wish I had something like really helpful to say right now.
I just needed to vent really bad. So thank you for letting me drop the F-bombs all over the place.
All day long. And I'm just relieved you're not mad at me for something, because
no,
that's where my little brain goes immediately. Yeah, you're gonna have to look up. It's I don't fuck with you. Not I don't give a fuck. I don't fuck with you. And it'll make you just feel so much better. We made up a little dance that went like this.
I did have a question. These ones that are recorded, where do I find them? Because I was in the main page and I saw where they had the podcasts that go with the live Q&A.
Yeah.
But I didn't know where to, like, or maybe I just missed it.
I'll pull it up and show you, because can be a little confusing. You have a special access in Kartra, and we hide these in your special access spot.
Oh, okay.
So that everybody else can't see them, right? But that can make it hard for you to find them. So now I've got that song stuck in my head.
Sorry.
You.
Go fuck yourself.
Jeez. So frustrating. I'm so sorry. All righty. Let me see if I can find it. We are in step by step. Okay. So. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to ask Chantel to make a Loom video, a little video for us, because I have a feeling you might have to log in separately, and that might be why you're not seeing it. So let me just ask her rather than using up your coaching time.
No worries. I am going to log out real quick and come back in, because I realized I got something jacked up with my computer. So I'll be right back.
You do your thing.
Okay.
Hey, Chantel, quick question for you. With the steppers in Level Up, and they're asking about where to see the video replays. So I was going to show them in Kartra, and then I started second guessing myself, because it looks like we have the step-by-step login, and then we have a separate place for Level Up coaching. So do they need to log in somewhere else? Could you make a Loom video for me to share with them so that they can see where to go? Thank you. Okay.
All right, I'm back.
That was quick.
Well, I had to switch my Zoom accounts and it did not log me out.
Tech is not your friend today right now. Tech is not your friend today.
Tech can go fuck it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm older. I'm almost 50, and I remember where we did all this shit without tech and it worked just fucking fine, and I wasn't as pissed off as I am now. So I'm not a fan of tech. I know it. And granted, I can figure out some shit on tech, but it's just like, no, this is fucking ridiculous.
She's gotten some real, very frustrating things happening with Google My Business. So we've been venting about it.
Sorry.
Just to give you context of what's happening here.
Like, let's talk about it. But I'm kind of done with it right now. Until
there you go, Bradlicia. I got a verification code, and there's nowhere to enter the verification code.
So it did work out for you, like putting so far.
Somehow it let me get to a verification code, and there's nowhere to enter it because I got this in the mail. And so then as I was playing around before this, trying to do that, another profile, it said, okay, we'll make a phone call. And I have Ring Central on my phone and no call ever came through. I'm done with Google. Okay, enough for me, everybody else.
I was gonna say, this is for you, Rachel. Like, if you're getting the emails for Level Up, so the last one, it was like your name, it's our last session,
Mhm.
that's the subject. If you go in there, the first button is to come here, the second button is to log into the Level Up membership. And
Oh, okay. Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. I love when other people know how to work things in my own business that I don't know how to do. Really good.
Wait, can you explain that again? What's the second button? Where does that go?
So Rachel earlier was asking about the recordings of our sessions here. And so in the last email that we received where it's saying, like, it'll say your name. So Janet, it's our last session. And then when you go in there, the first button, like, is this purple? Like the first purple button
Yeah.
is to come here to the Zoom. The second one is to log into our Level Up membership. And that's where the recordings are.
And I get lost when I go over to Facebook. It takes me always a minute to find out where the live thing is. So does it just populate whenever you start the?
Oh, for when we do the Q&As? Yeah, if you go to the Facebook page, it should be at the very tippy top, but I'll show you a little tricky trick that I use because Facebook is, I really don't like Facebook, but
I get lost in Facebook too.
what can we do, right?
Is that like, okay, boomer?
They run our lives. We've given them permission to run our lives. Okay, so wait, it's not showing my screen yet. There we go. So this is the Facebook page for the step-by-step group. And usually once I go live, if you scroll past this little featured section, it will usually be the first thing here. But just in case you don't see it, you can click to media and then videos. And this is all of the live Q&As we've ever done, plus a bunch of other stuff. All the videos are in here, with the most recent being the first one. Now, our videos that we do for Level Up Coaching, they are not in the Facebook group because it's only for us. All right, let's get our wins into the chat because I want to make sure we have time to talk through any issues. So I want you to type wins into the chat so we save space to talk through, since it's our last day, any questions that you might have. And Rachel, I don't know if it's, I don't know what's happening that's making me so irritable. I don't know if it's taking Flonase, which is a steroid, or perimenopause and my hormones are wackadoodle, or my thyroid condition. I don't know what's going on, but the irritability level is pretty high. It's so high that I'm using my progesterone cream during the day. I'm like, maybe that will wind me down. All righty, let's get those wins in the chat. What can you give yourself credit for that you've accomplished over the last couple of weeks that have moved the needle forward in your business? Give yourself some pats on the back. It can be small little things like you haven't beat down your computer even though you really wanted to, Rachel. Or it can be really big things like last time I got all my freaking paperwork done, right? Anywhere in between. And we try to make the wins. You can share accomplishments. Like if something has happened, you got a client, certainly you can share that. But I want you to take credit for those actions that you've taken that led to the outcome. Oh, nice, Janet. That's a huge win, getting your risk management things together. And you got 3 new clients. Nice. Gosh, it's such a good feeling too, private pay or not, because it gives you like, I'm going to be able to pay my bills, space.
And I'm starting to see what's in my flow.
Nice. Oh, that
Right.
feels so good. Rachel says, I have a lot of paperwork together and starting to play with sessions help. Oh, cool. I've also gotten 3 new clients and 2 are private pay. Okay. My goodness, y'all. Hello, crushing it. Oh, Bradley, see, that is something I so don't like to do. I was able to adjust my buckets for Profit First. I hate playing in Profit First, even though it's so good. And I can pay myself 60%. That is fan-freaking-tastic. Dang, that's awesome. This is why we love online businesses, right? Like, keep that overhead low. Amazing, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So what is it? I'm going to have you do this in the chat too, so I can kind of organize the order that we go through. I'm going to do this so I don't get confused later. Hold on, nobody type. Okay. Pop your questions into the chat that we need to cover today, and then I'm going to group them by subject and we'll work on through it. Are y'all typing? Okay. I'm like, it's been a while. Does nobody have any questions? Okay. Ah, yay. When you can join Momentum for the month. Yes. Okay, yeah, we could totally talk about that. Yes, yes, yes. I've got to get a pen. Throw that away. Yeah. Putting together the risk assessment, could not determine involuntary hospitalization for my licensure. In the past, I had procedures for MCOT or 988 for adult clients and their emergency contacts to take them. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. And can you recommend best website that hosts trainings if we're interested in learning something new or broadening our skills? PESI is ridiculous. Yeah, totally ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, agree. Well, so that one's the easiest to answer. So I'm going to start there first. Do you mean clinical skills or business skills? Both. I mean, I have, let me organize my thoughts because I have some strong feelings. There is a profit money machine with getting therapists credentialed in certain, EMDR or IFS or whatever the hell it is, right? And it is true that these are highly technical skills and you do need training to do them. I start to feel a little bit like therapists are getting taken advantage of because we're such suckers for imposter syndrome and not feeling good enough, even when we are, that we pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for training that's oftentimes the old shit just with new names so that we can have a certificate and we can feel like we have a stamp of approval. So I would, number one, be sure about why you're getting the training, and that like you're doing the training because you're really interested in it and not because you feel like you can't, do good therapy because you don't have 28 credentials after your name. And then the other thing I was thinking of, and this is a new thought, so I don't know that I totally trust it, it's where I'll land later, but there are a lot of therapists now that are teaching techniques that aren't CEUs. They're just like, hey, for example, we had somebody in Step by Step, gosh, I can't think of her name right now, but she has done all the certifications in IFS, and she's specializing in doing IFS therapy for IFS therapists and teaching and doing the therapy itself. So I would actually start looking around in Hope Eden's group. I'll grab the link for you and put it in the course. She has lots of trainings in there that are, people have taken the CEUs and they're like, this is amazing, you should totally take it. Or other therapists who are doing trainings and they're, you pay them directly. So they're making the profit and not some big megalo company that, like Pessy or somebody like that. So that's where I would go to get it. And I will drop that link into the Facebook group. It's like a trainings warehouse and it's searchable. There's a search bar so you can go in and find all sorts of different trainings. Yeah. And then the other trick that I'll tell you about is when it comes time to do your CEUs, if you put them off like I do, and I often don't like getting my good trainings through the CEU system, I get them from other places, but I need to get those CEUs. So there are sites that will let you read the material. So it's all in written format, and then you take a test. And what you're allowed to do is print the test out, read the material on your screen or print that out and answer the freaking questions on the paper, and then you enter them in. And it is the fastest way to get through your CEUs ever. And you're allowed to resubmit the test 3 times. So sometimes if you're like, listen, I've done the ethics course like 80 times, I know the ethics already, you just take the test. And if you pass the test, you get the CEUs and you don't have to spend 4 hours going through the material again. So I think it might be CE for less, but I'm not totally sure if that's it. And they are for less, they're much cheaper. All right, momentum. So momentum is in a state of flux. And we did an experiment last time with having people join directly out of Step by Step. And I don't feel like they got their money's worth. I feel like they needed some space to finish implementing some of what they learned and then go in, even if it was like 2 months, just like to get some ducks in a row. And the way that I structured it, I just didn't feel like it worked as well as I've done it in the past. So I'm going back to the way that we've done it in the past. I'm going to make a new sales page, all the yada yadas, and then I'll email you about it probably in the next month and a half. So you can decide if you want to hop in there and you would have some space to, actually implement some of the stuff. All right. Let's talk risk assessment. What license type are you again, Janet?
LPC and LCDC.
Okay. So we want to first check if in your state you are one of the people who can initiate, it's called initiating an involuntary hospitalization. And the fastest way to find that out is just email your board. It can be difficult to find that information or Google it, but I would email your board so you know for sure. And then if they say yes, actually I would say, am I someone who can initiate an involuntary hospitalization? And if so, can you please link me to the, I thought we got a month for being in level up, or was that for paying in full? I don't remember, but I can look and you'll get that month regardless. If it's listed in our sales copy, then you'll get that month. Let me write that down to follow up on too. Check. That's my second pen that's not working. Did I mention irritability earlier? Did I mention that? Okay. Check. Oh, there we go. That's a good one. Level up sales page 1 month momentum. You will get the better momentum than the last momentum. Okay. All right, I will check that and I'll post that in the group as well. So then I would have them link you, Janet, to the involuntary hospitalization paperwork if you are somebody who can initiate one. So let's talk this through. How many of you have initiated an involuntary hospitalization at some point? Yay, no, 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 Rachel? I can't hear you.
I actually,
Sorry, what did you say? It was,
Yeah, I was asking if you've initiated an involuntary hospitalization before.
at a previous job, yes,
Okay,
but not.
on your own, like
Mhm.
in private practice. Okay, Janet, what were you saying?
when I worked for the school, we had a student that was flight risk and also suicidal, and the police did an EDO, emergency detention order.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think that I can actually do it.
Okay,
I don't know, but I'll keep checking.
okay. So in some states, depending on your licensure, you can initiate the paperwork. So there are two agencies have to sign off on this paperwork. One is either a mental health professional who has a license type that's allowed to do it, or the police. And then the second is the receiving facility who accepts that person in, and they do a second assessment. So the frontline assessment is you or the police. The second line assessment is the receiving facility. And whenever possible, except in rare circumstances, I would much prefer the mental health professional to initiate than the police. Number one, the police are not going to be nearly as good at assessing as you are. Number two, the police can be dangerous for some people. Number three, when the police take somebody to the receiving facility, if they're following the rules, they have to handcuff that person and put them in the back of the car. So imagine that your person is highly suicidal. They're not feeling totally sure that they want to like go through with this we call it a Baker Act, involuntary hospitalization thing. And you finally get them talked into like, okay, you know, I'm not going to resist this. And then the police show up and have to handcuff them. And, you know, it's like not amazing. So in some states, they have an emergency response team in some counties. And in those cases, like I could initiate the involuntary hospitalization. I could call them. They will come and transport the person, which is lovely because they're a mental health team. The police do have to follow them for safety, but at least you're not having to get handcuffed. And then you go to the receiving facility and they finish up the paperwork.
I've also done that in the past, called the Mobile Crisis Outreach Team. They go there, they do the assessment, they take the person,
Yes,
and then I write my paperwork.
yes.
That's, I mean, my note. I don't do really anything on this end to say, because they do the assessment and then the assessment gets done again at Sun Behavioral or Harris County.
Yeah. Something that's happened that like really pisses me off. And one thing to do to make sure you've covered your own butt in these situations is if you do have a client that you know needs to be in the hospital, like it's going to be dangerous for them not to be. One of the very frustrating things that can happen is they go to the receiving facility, they tell a different story, and then the receiving facility is like, they're fine. And then they turn them loose. Well, because the receiving facility never took them into their care, you are still the clinician, you're the most recent clinician of record. So if something happens to that person, you know, the risk is mitigated a little bit because somebody else also did an assessment, but it'd be a lot better if they had taken the person in and they were the last treating clinician. So I will usually have my client, like, let's say I'm on a call with them and I'm like, okay, you know, we're doing this thing. And they're like, yeah, we're doing this thing. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get their verbal consent, and if I can get a written consent, I will, but it's kind of, it's difficult because we're online. If I can get a written consent to be able to talk to the receiving facility or to fax the receipt, I get as much friggin' information to that receiving facility as possible to explain the level of risk, because I want to be able to be like, I told you, like I gave you all the things. If you let them go after I've said this, and this, then it's on you. I've told you this information. And a couple of times having done that, they took somebody that they previously were not going to take, that they needed to take. And then a little extra side note, upon discharge, those EFers who are understaffed will often tell the client in the treatment plan, because they're required to give a treatment plan to establish follow-up care. They'll be like, continue with your therapy provider. I'm sorry, you just got out of a 10-day inpatient crisis stay. Coming to a solo practice once a week, no, negative. You need to be in intensive outpatient or, partial hospitalization or whatever. So also putting in your paperwork that, your level of care will not match for their needs at discharge will cover your tail in that situation too. Other questions about any of that? I was talking with my best friend the other day. She's a psychologist, and she had like 2 crises clients in the same week, like disappeared, didn't come to therapy. She was very, very worried. And I was like, man, I'm glad I'm not doing therapy right now, because I'm on a hiatus. And then I was like, stupidly, I was like, yeah, but I rule out crisis clients from the get-go. And she's like, Amber, do you think I didn't do that? Like, obviously I did that. Situations change, and that can come up sometimes. It's going to come up sometimes. So it is really good to be prepared. All right.
Yeah, I got especially heightened because one of my colleagues had a client not show up who was, risky, and she died.
Oh,
Yeah. And I was just like, I need to get this paperwork in order.
yes. Yeah. Gosh, that's so scary. That is
Yeah.
hard. That paperwork just feels so grounding, to, and I will say to the person directly, I'll say, listen, I'm worried for you, and I don't want to miss a single thing. I don't want to lay my head down tonight and feel like, oh my gosh, why didn't I ask this? Or why didn't I, help them troubleshoot for XYZ situation? So I'm going to make sure to look down at my notes while we're talking, because I know you're upset. My adrenaline's up because I feel protective of you and I don't want to miss anything. So that way, like if I'm occasionally looking down at my paper, like, okay, did I cover everything? They're not going to feel like, I'm just trying to check boxes and cover my ass. They're going to feel like, okay, she's trying to take care of me. She's trying to make sure that I'm okay. That's okay. Thank you for the context though. All right. What else have we got? Do you all have in your email signature and in your voicemail? Yes, you have access to all the material for forever and ever. Do you all have in your signature lines and in your voicemail, like, please call 911, here, crisis response? Okay, good. Email's not guaranteed to be confidential, all that good stuff. Excellent. You guys can turn on your mics and talk. I just wanted to get all the questions like organized in my head, but you don't have to stay in the chat. Is 988 the text line? What is
The
988?
mental health emergency line, rather than 911, they'll send a mental health person.
No, I don't think I know about this. All right, hold on. There's, no, I don't know about this. I wonder, gosh, I feel so
I
old.
think it went live just this year, maybe.
Okay, that makes me feel better. There's also a text hotline, and it's excellent. It started as a research project at a university and text hotline, crisis text hotline. And they train the hell out of their mentor staff. And they also use algorithms to predict what the next question might need to be for their staffers. So if they're like really worked up, you know, it will give them some prompts of like, hey, don't forget to ask about this, or, you know, like this might be useful. It's really, really neat.
What is that again? Can you
It's
say that
called the text hotline. And let me grab it. It's a crisis text hotline. I'll give you the link to it. It's really, 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 really good. What I've noticed about the old 1-800 hotline, I don't know if it's similar to the 988, is that they would connect you to whatever your local crisis line was. And so the quality of the person receiving the call would be totally contingent on the quality of the training that that particular area did. So some areas had amazing resources and some areas had crappy resources. Whereas this text line, everybody is trained with the same model, and the model is pretty solid. Have any of you worked on a crisis line? I did it when I was like 18 or 19. I was a baby. I was a young thing, and we had to they trained you for 6 weeks. It was a very intensive training. I might have been 20. And then you needed to do a certain number of like shifts during the course of a year. And you had to work there for at least a year for the training, and volunteer. They didn't pay. It was a volunteer situation. And you had to do several overnights. So during the day, there were other people there, you know, so you had backup, but at night you were there by yourself in this super creepy building, and you like brought your blankets and your pillows so you could sleep on the couch. I don't know, it wasn't Teen Line. No, it was just a local, like, you know, hotline number. So freaking creepy. It was so creepy. And there were cameras looking outside so I could see, you know, if anything was going on outside. And one night I'm on a freaking crisis call talking with this person. I remember so vividly, they were a repeat caller. And I look on the camera and I can see my car, and I can see somebody breaking into my car. And I'm like, well, what do I do? I'm on the line with this person. I need to call the police. Of course, I was afraid that they were going to break in and try to kill me or something. So yeah, they what was hilarious about it is the police did come, and they didn't steal anything out of my car. I was 20. I didn't have anything in my car, but they accidentally left some sort of drug pipe. It wasn't marijuana. It was some other sort of drug that you would use a pipe for in the car. So it was, I guess, a net gain for me and a net loss for them. The cop's like, is this your pipe? I'm like, no, sir, definitely not my pipe. All right. Email signature language in the course. I don't remember if that's in the course, but I can pull up mine for you real quick. And then if we have time, I'm going to show you some really crazy software that is almost as crazy as ChatGPT that will help you with your marketing. It's not essential that I show you, so we'll do it only if we have the time. Okay. This is my signature line. I don't know if it'll keep the formatting. There you go. Other questions? Unmute yourself for the questions. We can interact. We have time.
I'm sorry, where is it?
It's in the chat. If you're on your phone, it can be hard to see. So I'll also put it in the Facebook group.
Okay. Because I don't see anything. This last message that I see is from Rachel that says, please show us.
It's not in the chat
Well, that's odd.
because I'm on my laptop.
in my
It's not in the chat.
I can see it.
Janet can see it. It's in everyone in meeting. Well, I'm gonna put it in the group and that way we don't even have to worry. Signature line options. Share yours too. All
I took a picture of it. If
right.
anybody wants it, I can.
That is so weird that it's not showing up in my chat.
It is weird, especially because you have the option, like I have the option to show my message to everyone, to each one of you. Here, I can just send it individually.
Oh, there it is. Well, no.
I sent it to you individually. Now I sent it to Bradlesia individually.
Oh, yeah, you sent, it was in a direct message to me.
I just
Okay.
did that. Yeah, before it was to
Okay.
everybody. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's weird tech.
Okay. And it's
Got
weird,
it.
my text says 3:56 a.m.
What's going on? What is happening in the world? I don't understand.
You know, I really need to find one of those rage rooms they have right about now and just destroy everything, because I'm all about that.
Oh, I hear you. Okay, I'm going to show you some cool tech because I'm not seeing a huge influx of messages, and the tech is going to blow your mind and it's going to make your life much easier, and it's cheap to free. We're going to remember the name of it. The name of it is on my computer somewhere. Hold on. It's not WiseCut. It is not WiseCut. It's almost in my mind. Descript. Whew. Good brain. Good job. Good job. All right. So if you've ever tried to create a long form video, even a 5 freaking minute video, and you mess up, you say, you totally flub up a line, and then you either have to re-record, or if you have to learn how to do video editing. And I've done video editing manually, and it's very, very annoying and slow. All of that is over for you, friends. So this is like one of those situations where, what is that number?
I'm trying to message Janet.
You messaging me?
Well, that's my phone number. Call me.
Here, I'll give it to Janet. What are we doing today? All right, so when you yada, 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 let's pull this up here. Give me the program. The program is called Descript. And the idea is that you upload your video to Descript. And what it used to do is script it out. It would pull what you said and it would create a transcript, right? Well, what's amazing is in the transcript, you can edit the flippin' video. I'm going to show you how. New. Here we go. I'm not gonna lose my temper. All right, here we go. Share screen. So it's going to share the screen just a second. It's going to take a sec to load for some reason. This is just how it's rolling today. You can start a new project. I'm going to just grab some sort of, I'm going to pick video. I'm going to grab some sort of video that I have. I really just wanted it to show you an old project. Okay, give me 30 seconds. Even less. Where are you, buddy? Already. Oh, Oh, silly Willy. All right, that's my bad. That's not the computer. Sorry. Okay, I'll show you here. Let's see if we can open this. I'm gonna duplicate the project. Let's see if it'll let me do it in here. Because I really want to show you in here. It's not. Son of a monkey's uncle. All right, I'll explain it. And then I will get you a training video. So you put the video in there, right? It comes up with the transcript right next to it. You read through the transcript and anything you're like, I went off on a tangent there, I just want to delete it. Rather than having to go through the video itself, you can delete the words that you want to come out of the transcript, and it also deletes it out of the video. Now, what's insane about this is it doesn't sound that crazy to y'all because you haven't had to edit videos before. What's crazy about this is to make your video line up when you've chopped a piece out is very difficult. It always looks weird. You screw around with it for 5 minutes to get it to connect right. Not here, my friends, not here. You delete the words, it deletes that part of the video, and then you are done. It goes through and identifies all your ums and ahs, your likes, all of the things that we are using as filler words. And with one click, you can delete all of it out of your video. If you're like, oh, you know, I paused for a long time in between some of my sentences when I'm thinking, you can say, hey, any pauses longer than 2 seconds, delete all those out. One click, they're all gone. Then what's cool, the chat GPT we already have in the course. Oh, you're looking for the paid one. Sheree hasn't gotten that to me yet. So as soon as she gets it to me, I'll get it to you. And then the last cool thing, I looked at probably 20 hours worth of software over this weekend. And this is the one that I'm landing on as the one for our type of work. If we're going to put videos out there, the way a lot of video editing is done is not really the way that people want to get to know their therapist. They don't want a whole bunch of, they call it like B-roll of weird stuff. Like you talk about robots and there's a robot that comes up in the screen. That's not really the vibe that most of our therapy clients are looking for. So really all we need to do is get out the extraneous content. It does that for you. Get out the ums and ahs. It does that for you. And then occasionally there's something called a punch cut where you like want to zoom in on your face. You're making a point or something like that. You can do that super easily. You can add in GIFs and stickers. You can add in headings. It's all easy peasy peasy. You can get it for free, or if you want to like upgrade just a little bit to have a few more features, it's only like $10 a month. So I do recommend if you're going to do 12 videos this year, it would be worth your investment. If you're going to do not 12, yeah, it would still be worth your investment because it just takes freaking ever to do all of that editing. All right, other questions? I mean, how is that? We are week 8 and we're just out of questions. It's perfect. It's perfect.
How long does the online, does the 8 weeks stop with the Facebook Live? Question coaching? Okay.
Yep.
So
So
that
this is our
stops
last
this
group
week.
meeting. At 12 will be our last live Q&A. I think I mentioned to you guys that we are looking to shift the model a little bit. So ultimately, step by step will be sold, we call it evergreen. So people can buy it whenever they want to, which kind of screws up the live Q&A for 8 weeks in a row model. So I think what we might move to is doing a live Q&A once a month. So we'll probably end up doing more Q&As in a year than we would typically do, but they'll be more spread out and anybody can come to them. So this serves our veteran members better than the 8 weeks in a row might, because they probably don't have 8 weeks worth of questions in a row, but once a month, I'm sure that they have some questions that have come up for them. So we're going to feel it out. Let me ask you guys some questions as we're moving to wrap up. Given where you are right now, two questions. One is, what do you feel like you need to do for you to keep your business moving forward? And the second is, what kind of support do you feel would be helpful to you that we might be able to provide in momentum or something else to help you to continue moving forward? Talk me through that. You can type it or you can talk, whatever you want to do. Marketing support. Y'all know I got the marketing intensive. That's like the cat's meow of marketing. What I would do, because I'm cheap, is I would do the free training series that we have on marketing. It's intense. So you will get a lot out of the free training series. And we have that coming up in a few months. It's coming up in a few months. I would do that and see if that gets you enough. And if you're like, no, I want more, then join the intensive. If you know for sure that you want to get in the intensive, I can get you in the back door of the intensive anytime you want to. And then you can come through live when we run it live next. But if you're like, I want to start working on this right now, let me know and we'll give you the sales page and you can get in the back door. All of the trainings are already pre-recorded. I've already run it twice. So all the trainings are already available. All right, marketing. We gotta get those clients.
This is really individual to me, but I've been thinking how much I'm enjoying being on the entrepreneurial side of therapy. And because I had a moment, like, especially during the pandemic, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. Me and my supervisor, we were like, I don't know. I just don't know if I want to be a therapist. But being on the side of the entrepreneurial therapist has really enlivened me in a way. I've been working with, my coaches have been white, and it's been great. I would love to know if you have like a list of Black clinicians who are also teaching in the entrepreneurial space, because there are certain things where it's like, I kind of want someone who's close enough to this, especially when we start talking about, I don't know, it's just different things. It's like, oh, if I work with someone who's not, a part of the culture, am I going to be able to explain this well enough to get the result that I need out of this thing? So it's like, no offense to anyone else, but there are just certain things where it's like, I would like for someone who has a shared experience with me to work with me on this thing.
Yep. What sort of business coaching? So, because I know a lot of people. My first business coach was a Black woman. She is a Black woman. She's still a Black woman even to this day.
I hope so.
But she's not in a therapy field. Like, what kind of coaching? Because that'll help me narrow the list down.
If she's great, then great. But I think I do want a therapist.
Okay.
I think that's kind of been the holdup for me. Because I'm enjoying working with therapists who have decided to become business coaches in different areas. So I'd love to work with a Black woman in that same capacity. When I was out in the business world, online world, learned a lot of things out there, but they, they say things like, oh, well, you can do this. And I'm like, well, no, I can't do that. So I need someone who knows what we can and cannot do, but also understands the challenges of, Black folks. So I don't have to do all the thinking.
Yep. And are you thinking that, let's talk through what kind of offers you might be wanting to put out in the world, because that really freaking helps pick the coach, because different coaches know different things. So you got to pick the right coach for the right season, for the right kind of project. What are you hoping that you might offer down the road?
Down the road, I do have an ebook right now that kind of lays out like why can't I talk today? How to find a therapist. And it's specifically for Black folks. Like, hey, this is where you need to go and look, like skip all the other stuff. Just do this and you'll find someone, hopefully. So I've got an ebook. I would love to turn that ebook into a course or some sort of container, like group, where I kind of take them through it. Because part of the issue is that people they'll get the ebook, but they won't read it, or they'll get it, read it, and they won't take action. So some sort of, I guess, program where I'm there with them. I've also had an idea, since I'm doing relationship therapy, to do like, no one steal my idea, to do like a breakup academy sort of thing, like a breakup container sort of thing here. Like, that is happening really. It's like, coming here, we're gonna, like, it's set up in like a few weeks.
Yes, I love it. Okay. Let me think on it, and I'm gonna get you several names. I want to think through somebody that understands ascension models. Yeah, let me think on it, because the people that are coming to mind right away, like Sheree does more corporations and, you know, like helping corporate teams work better together. Shauna does more straight up social media. Evie, who is my coach, I don't know what she can do, but what she did with me might have been related to the stage that my business was in, which was baby business. So she was like helping me write my mission and my vision and my values and, you know, all that stuff. So let me think on it. And then I will post in the group some names, and I'll ask around a little bit too. Sweet.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. I'll see you guys in just a few. Bye.